Claim denial codes. I know, they can be the most frustrating part of the job. But what if we could flip that script? What if we could turn that confusing list of codes into a simple, actionable guide? Well, that's exactly what we're going to do. We're breaking down codes 122 through 145 to give you real strategies to get those claims paid and paid faster. Let's dive in. You know that feeling, right? You submit a claim, you think everything is perfect, and then, it gets rejected. We have all been there. It's not just annoying, it's a serious roadblock to your revenue, and it just piles on the extra work. But what if you could see these denials coming and, even better, stop them in their tracks? That's our mission today. Okay, so first things first, what in the world is a CO code? Let's keep it simple. Think of it as the insurance company's official way of saying, hey, according to the contract we have, this one isn't on us. And just like that, the financial responsibility shifts, usually over to the patient. Getting this one basic idea down is really the key to tackling every single denial we're about to talk about. All right, our first batch of codes all centers around the patient and their specific, unique circumstances. These are the kinds of denials that pop up because of family situations, things like psychiatric care limits or how newborn services are handled. So this first group is all about those patient-specific rules. Take CO 128, for example. It's super common for newborn services to be bundled under the mother's benefits for a little while after birth, and that's a frequent mix-up. Then you've got CO 122, which is a great reminder to always verify specialized coverage because things like mental health benefits often have totally different limits. The big takeaway here is that every little patient detail matters, right down to fixing a mistake from a previous admission or remembering to add a simple claim fee. Okay, so we've seen how patient details can cause a denial. But what happens when the problem isn't the patient? It's the payer's own complicated internal processes. Well, that's where this next set of codes comes into play. You gotta know their rules to win the game. With these denials, it's all about the fine print in your payer contracts. CO 131 is a classic, right? Forgetting to apply a pre-negotiated discount is pretty much a guaranteed denial. CO 132 is a reminder that special programs, like demonstration projects, have their own very specific billing rules. And with CO 133, the key is patience. This is the payer saying, hold on. So resubmitting right away is just a waste of your time. You've got to wait for them to finish their review. Now for a big one, CO 135, an interim bill denial. This is all about timing and making sure your claim is complete. Payers simply are not going to pay for a service in bits and pieces, so the process is critical. Step 1, wait until all the services have been provided. Step 2, consolidate everything into one final comprehensive bill. And step 3, then and only then do you submit it. Following these steps in order is the only way to get this one paid. And to wrap up these process pitfalls, we have two more that are all about precision. CO 136 is a classic coordination of benefits problem. If there's a primary payer, you absolutely have to play by their rulebook first, no exceptions. And CO 137 is a reminder not to sweat the small stuff. Actually, you have to sweat the small stuff, like those little state-mandated surcharges or taxes that must be on the claim. And that really brings us to such a crucial point in all of medical billing. It's almost always the smallest, tiniest details that have the biggest, most frustrating financial impact. A single typo, a mismatched number, that's all it takes to grind the whole process to a halt. Which leads us perfectly into our next topic, data. Now, these are the denials that can make you want to pull your hair out because they're usually caused by simple typos or mismatched information. But here's the good news. That also makes them the most preventable. These next three codes are just about the fundamentals of clean data. We're talking about basic but absolutely critical details that have to be perfect every single time. Does the patient's name exactly match their ID? Did the service happen when they were actually covered? These are the kinds of mistakes that a really solid front-end verification process can catch every time, way before a claim ever gets denied. Our final set of codes here brings us right back to accuracy. Now, codes 143 is actually kind of helpful. The payer is giving you a heads up that they corrected a provider's National Provider Identifier, or NPI. They basically fixed a typo for you, so just make sure you update your records. But codes 144 and 145, those are total showstoppers. An invalid prescription date or service code is an immediate red flag. It all comes down to making sure your data is clean before you even think about hitting that submit button. Okay, we have decoded a lot of codes today, But let's be honest, fixing denials one by one isn't the real goal, is it? The real win is moving from being reactive to being proactive. So let's put together a playbook for preventing these denials from happening in the first place. So how do we make this happen? It really comes down to a few core habits. First, make it a non-negotiable rule to verify patient info and confirm coverage dates every single time. Next, make it a priority to follow those prior payer rules down to the letter. Before you submit anything, take an extra second to double-check all your service and provider codes. And finally, know your contracts inside and out. These 5 steps right here, this is your playbook. This is how you prevent the vast majority of denials we just talked about. So, I'll leave you with this final question. Looking at this playbook, what is the one process you can start improving today? What is the single small change you can make that can have the biggest impact on your denial